What's happening in boxing world YouTube? I am your host, Nice, and welcome back to the Fight Room. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you do for the latest boxing news, feedback, and entertainment. Now, there is a lot to talk about in boxing. It's been a while. I did a video, been doing some things, but I'm back and there's a lot. Now, let me start off with the Chocolatito versus Estrada fight that happened just last Saturday. Estrada comes out with the victory, unanimous decision win over Chocolatito. Now let me talk about this fight. It was an exciting fight. It was a good fight all the way around. Estrada looked it better in this fight than the first fight. Better punching power, better combinations, and better shots to the body and to the head. But Chocolatito was doing, his thing. Chocolatito is a special type fighter with impeccable combination punching. He has impeccable hands. The best fighter in that division with the hands is Chocolatito. His hands is impeccable, without a shadow of a doubt. So I was thinking that Chocolatito could pull it off with his, superb combination punching. He has great hands. And, the fight was toe-to-toe. It was action-packed throughout the bout. Seesaw action brawl. To me, it could have been even, let me say this. It could have been a draw, honestly. I'm not taking it away from Estrada. He did better than the first fight. But what I'm saying is, Chocolatito, even though if you watch the fight closely, in a couple of rounds that he looked kind of discouraged throughout the fight, but he was coming back and throwing combinations and, landing superbly. His landing, his punch accumulation is great, and he's a precise puncher, and he displayed that. It was a close fight. What I didn't like, of course, that 117, I think it was 117, 111, by the judge. I forgot who it was, and he's being investigated, unfortunately. But it was too far. It was closer than that, man, and not for nothing. I'm observing the fight. As I'm watching the fight, they went real quick to the cards, the judges' scorecards, and we know that a close fight normally takes quite a bit for the cards to come in. So what was funny about this fight, it was that the card just came right in, not even a minute and a half or so after the bout was done, and they was gonna announce the winner, and it was very, very quick, which was odd to me, because in a close fight like this one, it should have been, it should have took a little longer than that. But if you go back and check it out for yourselves, you would recognize and see that. I don't understand what that meant, because the 117, 111 scorecard was pathetic, honestly. If they could have, either man could have won that fight 115 or 113, honestly. Or they could have gave it a draw. Chocolatito did his thing. He displayed, heart of a champion like he has, because he is. And he did his thing in that fight. But, unfortunately, they gave it to Estrada. It sounds like I am discriminating against that, or, but I'm not. But what I'm saying is the 117, 111, that's where it tickles me. It gets me a little bit upset just thinking about that. I guess that plays a part in how I'm feeling, but if they would have gave it 113, 115, 113, even if unanimous decision with Estrada, I would have been cool with that. You see? So, it is what it is. But with that being said, Chocolatito, to me, it looks like he's on his way to retire. I don't think he's coming back, honestly. If you looked at the fight and, the post-fight interview, he was crying and telling everybody they loved him and this and that, and he started crying. It looks like he's not going to come back. And, you can't blame him, because I know that he feels that he won this fight and they took it from him. And, it looks like he's like, what? For what? For what? Keep going. I proved myself already, So with that being said, let me tell everybody I love them, Nicaragua people and everybody, and started crying and said he loves everyone, and it really looks like that was his retirement call, honestly. Didn't say it, but it looks that way. So just imagine him trying to retire the next time. It'd be the same look. So he's retired. I bet you any amount of money he's not going to come back. And if he doesn't, it's cool. definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Honestly, one of the best fighters I've ever seen with my own eyes. Honestly, I'm not just saying that. If you guys tune in, watch Chocolatito's fights, man. He is exciting to watch. Every fight he fights, it's exciting to watch. He brings excitement to the game. And, you know, shout outs to him for that. Hall of Famer without a shadow of a doubt. You know, they say he's better than Alexis Arguello, his mentor. And he refuted that. He said that Arguello will always be the best. But, you know, there's people in Nicaragua that are saying that he is. He is. Chocolatito. His hands is impeccable. Moving on. Now, I want to talk about Benavidez versus Ronald Ellis. A fight on Showtime last Saturday as well. Good fight. Ronald Ellis displayed heart. Not for nothing. He gave some work to Benavidez. But Benavidez seems like nothing fazed him. Now, Benavidez was tested in that fight, I believe, because the guy was coming and giving him some good combinations. But, you know, Benavidez always had a response to his punches and could take a punch, and his combination punching was well, you know, Benavidez. And he has fast hands, man. People sleep on his hands, and he has fast hands. If he wanted to display that, and if he wanted to put that in his mind and say, you know what, this fight, I'm going to display my speed throughout the bout, he can do that. Honestly, a dangerous fighter at 168, perhaps the most dangerous to me, honestly. And everybody should know that he is. He has impeccable natural power. Now, we all heard, you know, him talking about Caleb Plant and Edgar Berlanga. Edgar Berlanga, Puerto Rican fighter from Brooklyn. 16 wins, no losses, 16 knockouts. Great power, ton of heart, and I believe that he has some good boxing credentials, though it has not been displayed. I said it before, he has that. I know he does. So with that being said, you know, that would be a good fight. But is it too early for Berlanga? Probably so. Why I'm saying that, you know, Benavidez is very, very strong. He has a lot in his bag, and, you know, he has credentials, his background, and everything. You know, it's just a dangerous fight as well for Benavidez. Berlanga, I am not doubting Berlanga. I'm not at all. Boy is a problem, and I'm not doubting him. If he does fight Benavidez, I give him a shot, to be honest. But what I'm saying is, from what my eyes have seen, it's natural to think this way. You know, Benavidez might have the upper hand from what I've seen. Why? Because we have not seen, you know, a bunch of rounds accumulated by Berlanga to let us know what he has. But I believe he does have enough tools to be a boxer, puncher, and move around the ring and display good credentials. I know he has that. He's been fighting since a young guy. He does. I know he does. So with that being said, that would be a good fight. But other than that, we know that Benavidez also called out, you know, the Canelo and Jamal Charlo. Now, speaking of Jamal Charlo had stated probably like about 3 weeks ago, that he would fight Benavidez, He would fight him if he would take the COVID-19 tests and, you know, so forth. And Benavidez, in an interview lately, said that that's preposterous, in other words, because he never stated that against any other fighter. Now, why with him? So, in other words, he's saying, you know, he's scared of me. That's what Benavidez is thinking, I believe. But, you know, why avoid him? Yeah, he's dangerous, you know. He's proven to be a dangerous fighter. Now, if he was a focused fighter, Benavidez, and would have, you know, made weight and still been champion, then it would have been a more reason for all these other fighters to want to fight him, just to try to take the title from him. But now that he doesn't have the title, nobody wants to really fight him. For what? He's a high risk, low reward, how they say. It's true. Why fight him? For what? Because they're not going to accumulate enough money, and they could potentially lose to Benavidez. Too much power, too much heart. I don't see anyone in that division, 168, besides Canelo, messing with Benavidez so far. Honestly, I think he's, you know, the most dangerous and the one that should be standing at the end of the day. Why I say that? Not saying that he has a better boxing skills than everyone in that division. No, I think Caleb Plant has a better boxing all-around attribute. Yes, but Benavidez's heart is gonna play in every round, every fight he does. He brings it, and you know, I don't see nobody making him stumble, man. Honestly, I just don't see it for some reason. That's just me, my opinion. So with that being said, Benavidez, dangerous fight for anyone at 168. You know, if he moves down to 160 and fight Charlo, let's just say he was to go down 160. Now that would be, you know, I would give the upper hand to Charlo in that. You know, Charlo is honestly right now 160 the best fighter at 160 right now. Ain't nobody gonna stop that guy. About 2 years ago, I would say, you know, Danny Jacobs would have got the upper hand, but not now. Not now. You know, Jamal Charlo displayed in the last fight, you know, with Derevyanchenko, man, that he is very, very precise if he wanted to be, honestly. Impeccable jab, great. He's just all around. He has it. He's improved without a shadow of a doubt. Yes, he has. He has gotten better and better and better. He has better boxing technique, you know, than his brother. Not for nothing, Jermell. Because Jermell, I like Jermell. Jermell is more of a power puncher to me, you know, and he likes to brawl and get in there. Charlo Jamal, more of a boxer technician. You see that with Derevyanchenko. Displayed it all the way around throughout the bout. Didn't even look tired after 12 rounds. You know, just did what he had to do and did it exceptionally well compared to any other fighter that faced Derevyanchenko at the time. You know, so honestly, the best fighter 160 without a shadow of a doubt, Jamal Charlo. Now I would like to see him fight also Demetrius Andre. That would be a nice fight as well, but hard to make. We already know politics. It is what it is with that. Now another thing I want to talk about, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua has been signed supposedly, and there's been backlash on Eddie Hearn because he supposedly announced it, and now he's saying that he didn't announce it. I'm not too sure about the situation. I just found out a couple days ago that the fight was made and signed. Good fight, biggest fight that can be made. Listen, if you guys don't like this fight, I don't know. Listen, people was getting tired of waiting for this fight. I was getting tired of it. I was about to be like, you know what? I don't even want to see it no more. You know, but now they signed it and it is made, it's signed and set, but we don't know, you know, the details of it. But with that being said, you know, good fight. Anthony Joshua is a good all-around fighter, you know, power puncher, but I think he has a weak chin. Fury is an impeccable fighter, the best boxer all around, I think, in the heavyweight division. And it's going to be a good action toe-to-toe fight. Awesome, honestly. I think that Anthony Joshua is going to box him and do what he did with what's his name? Andy Ruiz Jr. But, you know, and at the same time, go in there and take advantage of Fury when he has that chance. Now, Fury is Fury. We already know what he brings. He can adjust to any fighter. So he, to me, is going to make the adjustment throughout that fight. I'm talking about this fight early, you know, just to talk about it. The details. Why? Fury, I think, is the best, and it's going to stop. Honestly, I think he's going to stop Anthony Joshua. But if Anthony Joshua boxes, like I said, moves around and uses his jab precisely and clinches, you know, holds on, because he's going to have to hold on to Fury throughout the fight, honestly, to win the fight. Now, let me say something. We all remember Holyfield against Tyson. Not for nothing. Holyfield was my favorite heavyweight of all time and still is, before he even beat Tyson. But I'm going to say this. Holyfield had a strategy in that fight that he would hit Tyson with the 1-2 punch, grab and hold. Push away. 1-2 pang, grab, hold. 1-2 when he can, grab, hold. Uses, you know, he would use his foot, use the ring as well. But when he had that chance, when the open door was set, pang, pang, grab. And that's what had Tyson mad in the first fight and even the second fight. So it's going to be that type of fight, I believe, for Anthony Joshua, if he can do that against Fury. But Fury's not going to let him, because Fury is just, you know, all around good fighter. And I mean, you know, we never know. Anthony Joshua could adjust and bring a good fight game plan and overcome this monster. But I think that Tyson Fury is the most guy in the heavyweight division that could adjust to any fighter. So therefore, with that being said, I think he will overcome and become the undisputed without a shadow of a doubt and still be lineal on top. Vergil Ortiz Jr. against Maurice Hooker this Saturday. A great fight for both men. It's a test for both men. Maurice Hooker came, his only defeat was with Jose Ramirez, and Jose Ramirez is actually Vergil Ortiz's favorite fighter. Just wanted to say that. So for Vergil Ortiz Jr., this is a great test. Now, Maurice Hooker is a good fighter, man. He has great hands, fast hands, and he has good timing. Let me say that. Good timing, he's fast, he can box. But for Vergil Ortiz, to me, Vergil Ortiz is a complete fighter, honestly. He's impeccable. He has a good circumference zone when he fights. He doesn't go off his footwork or his circumference zone. He's very, very precise too. It's going to be a good fight, man. It's a good test for both men. I think that Vergil Ortiz should come out the victor in this fight, man. He's just one of those guys, one of them that is going to be talked about for a long time. Not taking it away from Maurice Hooker. Maurice definitely wants to be, known and keep fighting and winning championships, and I can see it. He has a good heart and all that, but I think he took the wrong fight in this one. Honestly, Vergil Ortiz Jr. has a ton of power, skills, ambition, determination, hunger. So, dangerous fight absolutely for Maurice Hooker. Good test for Vergil Ortiz. It is coming this Saturday. So I would be breaking that down in a video that I'll be doing soon. So with that being said, man, I just wanted to bring all this up, a little fight update, boxing update for the week. You already know I am your host, Nice. Like, comment, subscribe. Till then, most of all, don't forget to share the Fight Room.